Hello, everybody. This is the Earful Tower podcast. My name is Oliver G. This show is brought to you by My Private Paris. We'll be hearing from one of the co-founders at the end of the episode. That's Marie, talking also about food, cheese, and wine. But first, sitting across from me in the studio is Romu, the famous private chef. Can I say famous?
No, maybe not.
I think you're
It's a bit
famous.
embarrassing.
Okay, well, very well known, especially to some very well-known people in the world. A private chef. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for the coffee this morning, actually.
My pleasure. Thank you for lunch the other day. Was it yesterday? The day before?
I think it was 2 days. 2 days ago. Yeah.
I think there'll be people around the world listening saying, who's this Parisian chef? Can he really cook? And I think if we just talk about what you cooked me on a Tuesday afternoon for lunch at your house, I think people's ears will explode. Can you talk me through that course?
Yeah, so I think we, if I remember well, we started with like a simple terrine, but like a beautiful one that I made. That it's like just a terrine pork and like a chicken liver terrine marinated with cognac.
When you say terrine, do you think there are people who don't know what a terrine is?
Is
that the French thing?
Yeah, I think sort of. Terrine is just like a mix of meat that you cook at a really low temperature, and you give like some really nice flavor. You add some alcohol to that, right, and spices and whatever you want actually, and you cook it for a long time. But you cook it in a terrine, like a kind of like terracotta terrine. Right. And I think with that we made some like beautiful pickles that I made like a month ago.
Delicious.
Bread and butter pickles with zucchini, with some pickle mustard, and red onion pickles. That was like just to start.
I was like, this is the starter on a. I was already sold at this point.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Then we moved on to the next course. At the moment there's lots of mushrooms, so I use some like a beautiful girole. Girole just in a pan with some black garlic. So black garlic is like fermented garlic butter with some preserved lime quet.
Yeah.
And an egg yolk confit on top. Do you remember that?
Of course. I mean, I told my wife about this later, because when I walked in, you had all these things cooking at once, which already is blowing my mind, including the eggs in little sort of, I guess.
Yeah, in like a little cup.
Little cup in like hot water, I guess it was.
Yeah, it was just like two. So it was actually like just like an egg cup.
Yeah.
And so I just put the egg yolk in with a bit of olive oil, and we just like steam it with pretty much like steam it for like a minute or two.
Right. And then the idea being the outside of the egg yolk cooks, the inside stays quite runny.
Yeah.
You pour it over the mushroom and the garlic.
Yeah, and we just like grated some parmesan on top and horseradish.
Yeah.
And that's it.
What do you think, guys? This is already... We're not even at the main bit yet.
So that was the second course, yeah.
Keep going.
Third course, I wanted to do like something fried, but which is like not really French, but I use rabbit to do, so I use rabbit karage. I love like Japanese food and like Japanese street food pretty much, and I think using rabbit was a good idea.
Cool, because usually it's chicken karage.
Yeah,
I say that I only know because you told me.
Yeah, so rabbit karage, and we did that with so we just brine the rabbit for a little bit. And I use some buttermilk, lait ribot, and then we just like fry so we coat that in a different flour. So it was like maizena, rice flour, and normal flour, just fried. We made like a buttermilk mayonnaise, and I think I served that with my homemade like furikake. It's like 7 Japanese spices that you add to that. It's beautiful. And we finish with some prawn fresh live prawn from the Charente, delivered by Tom Sava, with my like fish supplier. And these prawns were like simply pan fried with fermented chili butter, fermented hot sauce. And lots of love.
Well, here's the thing. So I think my point in asking you about this is to let people have an idea of how you think about food. I'm curious about like it was just a regular afternoon, but was that you going, I'm really going to put on something special? Or was that you just kind of being like, I want to try a few things? How important, you know what I mean? Like, is this...
So I've been working a lot lately, so I had like a big month, and that was like pretty much my first day off. And I think it's like I wanted to just do like a nice thing for me, but for you as well, because it was the first time you were coming to my place. So yeah, I know like we've got like lots of little jars at home that I just do like lots of I don't know, like fermentation and like just pickles and all of those things, and it's just like. You just need two things, like a simple, like a beautiful produce with like a little condiment that you add to that, and there's no limit after.
I mean, I think I think I said it like 5 times during the day, but I was so amazed by the passion that you have for food, because personally I couldn't think of anything I had that I was as passionate about, you know.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't know, I just like...
We all had like one little thing we're passionate about. You don't have to be like too much passionate, but
no,
it's
but
like,
I think it's so nice, because I feel like you must see the world so differently to lots of people. Like when you go to the markets, and we both live in the 12th arrondissement, so you were at the Marché
d'Aligre, yeah. It's my favorite place. I think I'm going there like once a day,
really,
if I can.
So tell me, when you go to the market, you talk about the covered market, the Beauvau place.
Both.
Okay.
My veggie supply is just at the first door, the first entrance. And so it's outside, but I mean, like, I've got like my few people where I'm going to.
Let me get inside your head. When you're walking through that covered market, there's like 3 different butchers, there's different bakers, there's different cheese places.
Yeah, true.
Do you walk up and down and are you just like, ooh, that rabbit looks good? Or do you go in there thinking, I need some rabbit, any will do? Like, how?
I think first you have to know them. And there's also like it's not only about the produce. It's the produce is a big part, but there's also like the link you've got between you and them.
Right.
So you have to be like a kind of like friendship or like a nice communication or like an exchange, like a special.
So when you come in, they go. So they're sort of like, Romu, I've got something you might like today. Is it that level?
No, maybe not that. It depends. Like with some of them, like the veggie guy where I'm going to, like they know my kids. There's like a little chair for Marcel when he's coming to the market. He can sit on there and when we're waiting to be served. And like
who's the best veggie guy there?
I think their name is like Gauthier. They're from the Loire Valley, so they're from my hometown as well.
You're from Poitiers, is that right?
I'm from the Loire Valley, so just Vendôme next to Tours.
Okay. I want to talk about, now I know this is very difficult to talk about, so maybe you have to lead the conversation a bit, but you've cooked for some huge names in the world.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Like since I've been back in France, I feel like I've got like...
Well, let's talk about it. You went to Australia first for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met my wife in Paris and only for 2 weeks, and she moved back to Australia.
Right.
And I just like quit everything and followed her there for like the last 10, 11 years.
Right. And then coming back to Paris, that was sort of like the catalyst to set you apart from the other French chefs. Even though you've worked in amazing places in Paris and in Australia, you come back here, you're sort of new kid on the block again.
Yeah.
And that allowed you sort of in your head to be like, I'm the best guy here. Is that how it worked?
It's hard to say that, but no, I feel like after, I've been like cooking for a long time now, but it's just more like being more confident in what you do.
Right.
I don't think I've got any limit on not any shame or in what you do. Or I think when you started, it's always difficult, but I feel like now I'm just past that, and I'm just maybe more enjoying what I'm doing. And it's also because I'm not only cooking, I'm doing other thing on the side.
Yeah.
So it's...
What do you mean doing other things on the side?
I'm doing a bit of consulting for like restaurants,
right,
for like different companies.
So we talked about this over lunch. I found this fascinating too. Restaurants in Paris come to you and they say, Romu, write me a menu, please. We'll hire you to write our weekly, daily menu kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I've done that for like a year with like two or three restaurants, but it takes a bit of time, and most of the time it's like a kind of like a group. I did that with a Pan Am Brewing Company.
Yep, friends of the show, Michael.
Yes, Michael Kennedy. I've done that for them, and I'm still gonna do a bit of work for them. I did that for the Café des Anges when I went back from after my trip to after Australia when I arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Did that for a year, and just to help training, like writing the menus, and that was something I never done before.
Yeah,
which was
So people at home might have tasted your menus without even realizing.
So I hope it was good too.
But let's talk about. It's hard to talk about because you signed non-disclosure agreements, meaning I don't actually know, but I know that you've cooked for some of the A+++ people around the world. And I obviously don't know the names, but I've been to your house and I've seen gifts that they left, so I have clues, but I don't know. How does that feel? Do you get nervous? Like, because cooking for something, it's different. Like, you're performing for them in a way.
Yeah.
Is there a sort of a different nerve when you know there's some kind of superstar that's going to eat your food, or is it just people are people?
No, I think it's more like, well, you have to take that like people are people and they're just like normal people. And if you are a bit, like I think if you're a bit stressed or if you're not you, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So you are just like taking that randomly. I'm just like cooking for just like someone simple and they, well, most of the time they're cool and they just enjoy what you do because you want to do something good for them.
Yeah, but do these super famous people, do they typically have private chefs cooking for them all the time, so they've lost touch with the reality of what normal people eat?
Well, it depends where they're coming from, but some of them, they're like just like simple people who start standing really, really low, and they're now on the top of the world. But like before that, they were like just like simple people. So
do they ever ask you? Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they ever? You know the scene where he eats the ratatouille at the end?
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Well, do you ever have famous people who say, I just want to have what I had when I was 6 years old when I lived out on the farm with my grandma? Do you get that kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, but they all have like a little tradition. Like, I like that. I think it's always a challenge, and sometimes you want to cook like something beautiful, but sometimes it's not what they want.
Yeah.
And like, but you have to. Well, lately I've cooked for a family. I'm working in a castle outside of Paris called Château Bouffémont. Bouffémont in Val d'Oise. It's like the name of the town as well.
Okay, we'll have a picture of that go up on the YouTube so people know what you're talking about.
Cool. This is a beautiful place, beautiful castle. And so we had this family, and they were staying there for 8 days for like the 6th-year wedding anniversary of the parents. And each day they have like a different theme, and sometimes it was like quite simple. Maybe I think one day they really wanted a croque monsieur, so we did a menu around the croque monsieur. And
so they wrote the menu. They said we want croque monsieur on Monday.
They didn't really write the menu, so they had choices. But sometimes they were organizing a picnic as well, so they wanted like a full like garden party pretty much, and they were painting in the morning, and so that's like all of these little challenges always good to. Just good to like getting it and try to do something beautiful, even if it's a picnic or croque monsieur. Do the best croque monsieur you can.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lot more. With all due respect, I don't think I'd ever considered how much creativity goes into. I don't know why, but like how much creativity goes into making a menu. Like if someone gave me the task, make a menu around croque monsieur, I don't even know where I'd
At the beginning, I was like, I was saying, what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
And at the end, like things, I think we did a champagne soufflé to start. Then we actually did a ratatouille, but like served in a little yellow round zucchini, so it was stuff inside.
Wow.
But everything was beautiful. We did like two sort of croque monsieur. We did one like the normal croque monsieur, and we did another one with a different bread. With shiitake, pan-fried shiitake with miso, with a Montbéliard sausage.
Wow.
And all of that pressed, and with like a Welsh rare meat sauce on top. It was fun.
It's like you speak a different language. I love it. How is like French cuisine is world renowned on a whole different level to most other countries. I mean, there are some other countries that are well known.
Oh, these are I mean, like the Nordic countries at the moment are really good too. Well, in pretty much I want to say in Europe, but like overseas as well. Like it's not.
But French, I mean, French has been such a staple on the universal
for a long time. Yeah.
What is it about French people and food? Is there a connection that everybody has that you notice is a bit different to the other countries that you've been in? Like I grew up in Australia. I don't feel that around me was this same kind of appreciation of food that you have here.
I think I spent like 11 years there, and I think the level over there is a bit different than. I don't think over there there's like many cafes, and in many cafes they're doing like really great coffee.
Yeah.
Here you have to. It's starting to change, but you have to looking for a place who does a good coffee. There's plenty, but it's starting to change.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any mistake over there. Like if someone's doing a sandwich, he's going to do perfect sandwich.
Interesting.
Same for like. There's lots of immigrants over there, like coming from Italy, Greece. And I think you can have like the best pizza, the best Greek food, the best Spanish foods, best French food as well.
But Australia doesn't have a national dish in the way that France has.
Totally.
Yeah. Did you miss French food when you were over there?
I don't think so because the way I cook is like good produce, seasonal produce, and there's some beautiful produce over there. It's a bit different. I think the kind of like the produce we've got here are quite better.
I want to come back to Paris for a moment here. I think there'll be lots of people listening who unfortunately might not hire you as a private chef.
Oh, they can. They just need to call me.
Tell me where's the best way to find you?
So we've got our Instagram is Romu Paris, and on our website it's info@romu.com.au.
There'll be some people listening who are never going to hire a private chef, but they are going to eat in Paris. Can we talk to them for a little bit about French food?
Yeah.
What's the obviously hire Romu before anything else? Maybe once you've done that, coming to Paris and looking for restaurants, I think can be quite daunting for people.
Yeah, because there's so many restaurants in Paris.
So many, and it's impossible
to do all of them. It's hard.
It's also impossible at a glance to see if it's going to be any good or not. Are there any insider tricks for finding good and bad restaurants?
I think I was. We were talking about that, but I think because we always want to find the new place where they do coffees or the new little brasserie. I think Time Out is pretty good for that.
Okay, Time Out.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a weekly or monthly. When I'm going overseas, like we use Time Out to find some good restaurant, but. I was saying also, like, if you go to a nice place where, like, starting on the morning, like, if you have a coffee and you can see that there's, like, French people talking about us, I think it's good to ask.
Yeah.
As a baker, or ask the people around.
So you
French
mean
are
ask
pretty cool.
the local French people for good places to eat?
Yeah. But that's they know where to eat.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
But what about just, let's say we're talking to an American family from Minnesota who are walking down Rue Saint-Dominique or Rue Claire or something, and they see in front of them 100 restaurants and they're hungry.
Yeah.
Is there anything that they totally should never do? Is there a way that there's warning signs or?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes like all of the tourist places are not it's not the best area.
Yeah.
I want to say that like where we live in the 12, it's a good area because there's only like people who live there. So there's less tourists, and I think it's easier to get to know like the French, to get to know the French and find a good place where to eat. No,
so find a place where locals seem to be sitting.
Yeah.
If everybody's out the front with like Emily in Paris berets on the front, there might be a sign that it's geared towards.
If you got a baguette, you can ask.
Yeah, follow the person holding a baguette. Okay, what are you looking forward to on the French food scene? Are you keeping your eyes on new restaurants and stuff like that, or are things changing here?
I think things are changing totally.
Tell me.
Yeah. I want to say that there's more like new restaurants are opening, but every time. But what I miss in Paris, it was like all of the restaurants from like not Parisian restaurants actually, but coming from I used to live in a Vietnamese area in Melbourne,
right?
And I miss like the good place where you can eat like good food, and I think there's lots of restaurants are opening, and they're not like French restaurants, but like more like Chinese or Vietnamese, and I think we got like this. Big wave of new, like second generation of chefs who just like opening a different different kind of cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that like COVID and the Olympics made it difficult for a lot of these old restaurants that were maybe already struggling?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I've noticed that with cafes.
Yeah.
That a lot of them have been shutting down, or a lot of shops that have been shutting down and cafes have been opening. I'm sensing there's a sort of shift on the Paris scene. What's, the old places that haven't been able to survive. I wonder if that will reflect in restaurants.
Not sure. I know that in Melbourne there's lots of places that are closing.
Yeah.
I think in Paris it's a bit different. I feel like there's more people here, so I think if you're doing something right, it should be good. But yeah, I know that lots of Parisians left and during the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I know that there's not many people who like came to France to.
Tough time.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
I think something I haven't done for a long time on this show is a quick fire round to end an interview where I ask a bunch of questions and you have to answer them without thinking too much.
Yeah.
Do you dare?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So how long have you been back in Paris now for?
2 years.
Okay, so long enough to have your finger on the pulse of the Paris food scene and stuff. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Tell me a very fancy restaurant that you'd like to eat at.
80?
80?
Ate.
Which one's that?
It's I think it's the name of the chef. It's a I think Japanese restaurant with like a French influence.
Where is it?
I'm not sure actually. I never checked the address.
This
but,
mythical restaurant. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Ate is beautiful.
Tell me your favorite cocktail.
Negro. Margarita.
Margarita.
Yeah.
Is there a good place to get it in Paris?
Yeah, in the 12. There's a good. I don't know the name of. I think no, it's called Calbar actually.
Yeah, where they surf in their underwear.
Yeah.
Wow, we haven't mentioned that on the show for a long time. You go there.
Yeah. Well, we had some bad margarita, and one day we went to this place because one of our friends were living in the 12 for a while, and he said, "Oh, I want to go back to." My cocktail bar, and so we went there, and like the cocktail was incredible.
Yeah, they don't mess around, those guys.
No.
Yeah,
they were wearing like Calbar, but
that's so. For people who don't know what we're talking about, they literally it's all. I think it's all guys that work there.
No, I think there's
women as well.
Yeah,
just wearing underwear.
Yeah,
on the bottom.
Yeah,
so they look
with like a funny shirt.
Yeah,
always.
It's
even in winter.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal, but the cocktails are really good. It feels like a gimmick,
like,
but it's
seriously, really good.
Okay, what about which is the best district to find a good restaurant? You said 12th.
11th.
11th?
Yeah, well, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question is really tough. Imagine, I hate to say it, you're on death row, and they say it's your last dinner.
Yeah.
You can cook it for yourself. What's it going to be?
Oh, wow. Never thought about that.
Oh, you're not allowed to think about it.
Okay. Favorite meal? Sometimes it can be like the simple one. I don't really know. Because I'm always cooking on the... Let's say like a big plate of bolognese.
A big plate of bolognese?
Yeah.
For your last meal? Do you do it differently?
Yeah.
Tell me how you make a bolognese and we can finish on that. I'm going to take notes.
So no, my dad is doing a good one, and I think that's why I've got like he's not cooking a lot, but he's got like two things. It's like a really nice pate and a beautiful bolognese, and I think I've got like that. It's more like remember me my childhood.
Oh wow, that is the ratatouille. That's the Proust's Madeleine that we're talking about. Go on, talk me through the bolognese. Okay,
so we do like onions, garlic, and carrots. Then I think there's like different way, but like I like grill. You just like grill the meat a little bit and add that to the veggie. Add a bit of tomato paste, some wine, and you just like bread that for a long time.
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to put some crazy twist to it that I've never heard before.
No.
But based on that I've tasted your food, Romu, I know that it would be excellent. I hope death row is nowhere in your future.
I hope so.
But look, thanks for coming into the studio.
No, thanks so much
really
for the chat.
No, and lovely to talk food with you. Everybody, if you're thinking about getting a top private chef when you're in Paris, this is your guy. And, well, I think next step for us is to go and have a margarita at Calbar.
Yeah, totally.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
And welcome to the studio, Marie Segura.
Merci.
You're laughing at my pronunciation.
No, I'm not. It's just like you make it very dramatic.
You say it.
I like it.
You say it.
Oh, just Marie Segura.
Marie Segura. How you doing?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm really well. I want the listeners to get to know you again because it's been a long time since you've been on the show. I also want to get to know you again because I forgot some details. Firstly, you say you're Parisian.
Yes.
You weren't born here at all.
Oh, that's a big question. Like, are we Parisian because we are born here, or are we Parisian because our heart is here?
Interesting. What do you think?
I think my heart is fully here.
Do you know what? I think if you could become a citizen of Paris, I would do it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I am already, so...
No, you're a citizen of France, right? I think Parisian could be a whole nationality.
It could be fun, to have your card saying, I'm a true Parisian.
Yeah. But where were you born?
So I was born in Tours, in the Loire Valley, the castle, the wine. I'm always saying that the best wine is coming from the Loire Valley because I was born there, so...
Is it actually the best wine, though?
I mean, everyone has different tastes. Personally, I love the red one from there, yes.
What is it called if I'm meant to go into a restaurant and order?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know. You can order Chinon, for example.
Chinon?
Yeah.
Chinon?
Yes.
Chinon? I get nervous going in and ordering wine from wine shops. I went to, the Baron Rouge, Baron Rouge in the 12th arrondissement, and I was with a French guy, and watching him order wine was a sight to behold.
Oh, but you can learn. We're doing wine and cheese. You should come and...
Well, give me a tip. Help me out. Where do you begin? Because I find it quite intimidating.
I will go with if you prefer light or heavy, and that's going to be like a good lead already for the person that is helping you. So if it's light, then the Loire Valley could be a good option.
Yeah.
If it's more heavy, then south. And then you can say what you're going to eat with it, and that's also very precious for the person that is going to help you because he's going to be like, is it heavy? Like in the taste, like if it's meat, then definitely something that is also like powerful. So it will just help you with that. So so think about what you're going to eat and if you for yourself if you prefer light or heavy. That's for the red, and for the white is if you prefer when it's a little bit more sweet or fruity, something a bit round, something you have in your tongue and you want to play with it, or something like it's so much dry that it's almost like water but with alcohol. So yeah,
I think it's a whole. It's like a whole. They need a whole manual on this thing, But more about yourself.
Yes.
You're from. When did you move to Paris?
So I was in a primary school, and my father was like moving around France. So we ended in Paris, in the center of Paris. I had the Eiffel Tower by my window.
What, you lived there?
Yeah.
What, 7th?
It's 15th, yes, on the 15th side. But actually, my high school was on the 7th, on Rue Claire.
Why? You went to high school on Rue Claire?
Yeah. There's not on the first section with all the little shops, but just after.
I know it. Okay, just past the Blue Olive Cafe where I used to go all the time. Wow. Okay, so you grew up around there.
Yes.
That's weird because it's so beautiful around. Rue Claire is so perfect.
Yes.
Eiffel Tower. It kind of maybe change your whole perspective on the world because everything is downhill from there.
I mean, my bedroom, I could see the Eiffel Tower from my bedroom. Every morning I was crossing the Champ de Mars on bus, to go to my high school. So yes, I think, for me it was just normal.
Yeah.
And then I realized later this is not normal. This is just the perfect dream of Paris.
Do you think that's what made you want to work in tourism?
That's a very good question. I never thought about it, but now you say it, maybe
like
I wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Maybe I wanted to share my perfect childhood.
And in terms of tour guiding, what is the kind of tours that you like to give personally? I'm not talking about my private Paris.
Of course, yeah. Personally, I would say that I enjoy myself a lot when I can talk with people and share with them, not just listening to my own voice, but having them also sharing the experiences. And usually the wine and cheese experience is the best time because I can share things about the wine, the cheese and the friends, but they also are talking about their lives, what they experience in Paris. And in general, having a bit of wine, in a group, that's so much better to to just get to know each other. So I would say, definitely this type of experience, food experience in general. Yes,
that takes me back to I don't know even what year it was, but we did that wine and cheese. What?
I think it was just before COVID. I would say 2019. And
I think it was for Patreon members.
Yes.
We did a wine and cheese tasting. We got everybody to buy the same cheeses around the world.
That was pretty fun.
I'm going to reshare that this week.
Yes.
That was in your apartment.
Yes.
You don't live there anymore, do you?
No, it was our office for a while, but now it's no.
Okay, interesting. And what about in terms of a tour? If there's one thing that you really want to, like, if you want to really nerd out, like the one that you're never going to really publicly.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. There's tools. I would say that it's a hard question. Like, as for me, like the tour I will enjoy the most is when I see the eyes of the people that are just like, wow, just have this wow moment.
Yeah.
So every time we privatize places where they're not really supposed to be privatized, any monuments of Paris, for example, any museums that are privatized, those are moments that are pretty exciting, and for us and for the clients. Or yeah, that could be that, or maybe a proposal. I would love to be, every time I'm in the team that is organizing the proposal, and I see it happening, and I see how happy the people are doing a tour and on a boat or wherever they want. I feel like I'm kind of part of their, happiness, and so I'm very happy to be part of those wow moments.
That is a lovely idea. Okay, My Private Paris is the name. Is it a travel agency? Is that what we say?
Yes.
Travel agency?
Completely, yeah.
So basically anything that you want to do in Paris, these guys will take care of you. And if you're lucky, you might have Marie Segura taking you around,
yes,
making your eyes widen with excitement. But we're going to hear a lot more from you over this season. Are you going to be coming on any of the day trips?
Yes.
Are you actually?
Of course.
Well,
I'll be there.
People will be seeing you as well.
Yes.
Marie, thanks for jumping on this episode. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.